I will teach you a very simple strategy you can use to win so many chess games. So this strategy is called CCTO, and you can use this no matter what opening you play. And this is a strategy that we will be using in the middle game. First of all, we have to get through the opening stage, and in the opening I always play this d4 knight to d2, which is the Pegasus system opening, my own opening system for white. So if you want to learn more about this specific opening, you should go to pegasuschess.com, where I have an entire course on this. But the strategy I will teach you is something you can use even with different openings. So the strategy CCTO, we will use this in the middle game. First, we need to get through the opening. And to get through the opening, we need to just develop our pieces, put some pawns into the center, and castle. I am going to play pawn to c4, which is a very important move in this opening. We are always playing e3, d4, and c4. In general, I think the e, d, and c pawns are the most important, and those are the ones you should use in the opening. So everything perfect, we just castled, and we are now in a super normal middle game where I will be able to teach you how to use this strategy. The first thing we always need to do is look at the last move our opponent just made while they are attacking a bishop. So I am going to drop back the bishop because I don't want to lose it. Now they take a pawn, I'm going to recapture the pawn. So if your opponent really plays something that requires your attention because they are threatening something or they just captured something, you need to deal with that first. If they played something like here, bishop d7, that doesn't really do anything special, then you can use CCTO. So what is this exactly? Whenever it is our turn to move, we want to go through the CCTO steps to find the best move. The first C is checks. We need to see is there any check in the position that we could play. Well, there actually is. We could give away a bishop for a pawn. Not a good move. Then we need to see is there any capture that we could play. Any capture. I don't think we have any captures. Then we need to see is there a threat we could do. A threat to win material or a threat to do a checkmate. Well, I could play pawn to a3, and that is a threat. We are attacking the knight. And this is simply what we are going to do over and over and over again to keep finding good moves. And this strategy really helps to always find good moves. So first, look at their move. Okay, they just pinned the knight, so we have to do something about that. We cannot really move it. I could always move. What we could also consider here would be to take, but we end up with doubled pawns, and they might be able to capture back. So not really too great. I think we could also just probably think about moving the rook, but then they take the knight, we take there, and again we are losing a pawn. So a lot of things are happening here at the same time. When you have a complicated situation like that, I always recommend playing a very simple move. And pawn to b3 was simple. We protect the knight, and we still had the threat on my opponent's knight, which they have now moved. Okay, so CCTO checks, yes, still the same. We don't need to recalculate that. No captures. We do have threats. I think we do have threats. We could play a4 potentially. That would be considered a threat because we are threatening to win the bishop. So I guess that's fine. I guess we can play that. It's usually not a move I play, but I think here it works just fine. And my opponent is really trying to be tricky. They just jumped in with the knight, trying to fork my queen and my bishop, but it's not really going to work because I can just move my queen to c2, and now I'm attacking the knight, and we also have this lined up here. So I mean, if he is not careful, he might be getting checkmated there. They captured, so we capture back. Okay, and they just moved this knight to e4. Bit strange. I think they are like trying to keep the knights working together, but I think this move might actually put my opponent in trouble already. So this move doesn't really do anything. We don't need to worry about it. So I am going through the steps for CCTO. Well, we definitely have no checks. It would be great if we could go there with the queen, but that's impossible. The only capture we have is blundering a queen. And then I have to look at threats. And if we have no threats, we are going to optimize. And optimize means we are simply going to pick up a piece and put it on a better square, basically. Or maybe move a pawn, but we want to move pawns in the center. So I'm looking here at the move bishop b2. Bishop b2 looks interesting, and I will show you why. Bishop b2 attacks the knight. First of all, the knight actually cannot really go anywhere. Like, it cannot really go anywhere. doesn't really have squares, or they have to sacrifice. Maybe he could play knight takes b1, and that would be just a capture there. And then we would take on e4, and still, this knight actually cannot go anywhere. This knight is just completely trapped. So, yeah, this knight is running out of moves. And if they try to protect it, I think we can take. And if they take, well, that is a checkmate. And if they take with the bishop, we could win the knight, and that is also with a checkmate threat. So I think if we play this move bishop to b2, this threat that I found because of the CCTO, I think there's not much that they can do here. And we can just grab that knight. Yep, and this knight here is just hanging. And the funny thing is, they just played b5. We actually don't even have to take the knight immediately. We can literally play whatever move we want, because this knight is still hanging. Like, my opponent is trying to be tricky and like move a couple of pawns here and there, but like none of it really matters because this knight is still hanging. And I think now is a good moment for us to recapture the knight. So if you follow this CCTO strategy, you should have games like this, where you just have a very simple opening. That could be the Pegasus system opening or something else. Then we go into the middle game and we just try to win some material. That's very, very basic. And then the moment that we are up material, which is the case here, we are up 4 points of material. We are up a knight and a pawn. Yes, a knight and a pawn. Then I just switch my strategy. Now I mostly care about trading pieces. And why do we start trading pieces now? Because every single time that we trade a piece, that's one less piece on the board, one less piece they can do counterplay with. Very important. We don't want counterplay. And we are just simply turning this into an endgame. But still, we have to be careful always for counterplay, and we also really have to try to like use our pieces coordinated in a good way, because I feel like we are not really coordinated, especially this bishop. It's like there is almost never a good square for that bishop. It's almost always in trouble. The good thing is our queen and rook are coordinated. That's working together, and we also have a weak back rank, so we might need to fix the back rank issues. I have to move the bishop, so I'm going to go bishop a5. Where do I go with this queen? I need to really find a good square. I think I will go here, because I really want to keep my pieces coordinated. I want to keep my queen and rook together, because we still potentially have back rank issues. I don't really know what's going on with this. Like, they just sacrificed another pawn, another bishop. Like, doesn't make too much sense to me. Yeah. Oh, we have a problem here. They might potentially have a back rank mate. So let's just move the rook there. Okay, so we don't run into back rank mate. And now I will play queen c7, hoping for a queen trade. Yes, if we could get a queen trade, that would be completely amazing. This bishop, I don't know what's going on with this bishop, but it's like no matter where I put it, it always keeps getting attacked over and over again. But now, finally, we have some good piece coordination going on. Trading this final rook is now the biggest priority, because if we can trade that last rook, yeah, we are basically just completely winning. I have a funny move here. Knight e5. And if he takes my bishop, that was actually a back rank checkmate. So that was a little bit of hope chess, maybe trying to play for this trick. But I thought it was a interesting trick to try anyways. Because you never know, it might work, and it was not a bad move. And I think now my bishop finally found a good square where it is protected by this pawn. Okay. And with my knight here and the bishop there, we might even have some discovery tricks. I still want to make sure that I don't fall for any back rank checkmates. We are covering this, but I cannot trust that that is enough. So I will move a pawn here just to create a square for the king. And I think we are actually setting up a hook checkmate pattern here with rook to f7. That looks like a hook checkmate pattern, and I don't think there is really anything he can do to stop it. If you think like, a hook checkmate, I don't know what that means, well, you should definitely go to pegasuschess.com, because I have an attack course that explains every single checkmate pattern, and this is the hook checkmate. The knight is attacking those squares, it is protected by something, and then once we move the rook over to f7, that is a checkmate. So please try out this strategy in one of your own games and drop a comment to let me know how it went.